Okay, I may be being a little bit dramatic, but these are the same paints I've used in the last 3 videos. The only paint that I remake is my Prussian Blue Phthalo. So you may recognize these. I'm working on an 8x10 canvas today, and I'm going to be doing a freestyle reverse pour. And here's my Prussian Blue Phthalo. So it's a green Prussian blue. It is by Amsterdam, as you can see here. And I've just painted the edges of my canvas because it is a color that if you don't paint your canvas, then you're probably going to see on the edges, you're going to see your canvas. So it's kind of thick and rich. It'll just take me a second to get this down. I'm working on a pretty small canvas. And while I'm doing that, and don't forget that I have added a little bit of pearl to my paints over there, every color but this one. This one doesn't have any pearl paints in it. So I added that in the last video, and you can just see how much paint I have left. That's why I call them my never-ending paints. Oh, so satisfying to just put this down. It's kind of like chocolate ganache. I must be hungry. Anyway, we're done and we're ready to start. I'm just torching for any bubbles that might be under the paint because this is my only recently mixed paint. And I'm going to start with my titanium and white and pearl white mixture right in the middle. And I don't really have a prescribed way I'm putting this down. I'm just having some fun putting down some dots and some circles to try to get kind of a flower effect when I go and lay my napkin down on this. Now usually you pour over something, like I poured over a tart pan last time. You can pour over anything you want. I've seen poured over half domes, poured over dessert cups, poured over the bottoms of bottles, plastic bottles that are cut off, whatever thing you want to pour over. But today I'm just doing a freehand pour. I'm going to see how much paint I have left after this because it really does feel like I have never-ending paints. So the colors I'm using, if you didn't see my other videos, this one is quinacridone nickel azo gold from Golden mixed with some pearl paint. So the others include a metallic yellow, metallic lemon yellow. That's an Artist Loft paint. And I also have Sky Blue Light, which is this paint from Amsterdam. And my blue color over on the side is aquamarine blue. What is wrong with me? Ultramarine blue. I guess I'm getting called up by my pretty blue here, but that's Sky Blue Light. So this is my ultramarine blue. I thought I had enough phthalo, so I'm doing the ultramarine blue, and it's very metallic from the pearl paint. And I believe I put a dash of the pearl from Amsterdam, the pearl blue, in there as well. So it's a nice metallic blue color. The pearls add a lot of lacing to your paints. So if you're wanting a lot of lacing, when you're doing this style of paint, make sure that you've added some pearl to your paint. Now this one is rich iridescent gold or precious gold, in the English version of it. And just going to add just a little more white here in the middle. It just looks like a hot mess. I know it. It's not that pretty. I'm going to go ahead and just move it. It's really growing, probably a little bit more than I would like it to. And yeah, try to keep it in the middle here. My big blob of paint. So this tells you anybody can do it if you just have a big blob of paint in the middle. Now what I probably should be doing is add a little bit more of my base color in there to get a little more delineation, but I am out of my base color. It is the one that is not the never-ending color. But it sure is a pretty color. Now here is my napkin, and this is my bottle of water, and I am just off camera, have wet my napkin, and I'm just going to put it down. At least I'm not working with a round canvas like I was last week, because the round canvas is a little hard to do with the square napkin or rectangular napkin. But here I'm working with a rectangle and another rectangle, and I'm just pressing down my napkin into my paint. We'll see if I can do a little bit better job removing this napkin than I did last time. It's a little bit of a delicate process to get all the corners together and then to go back and pull the rest of it in. And I see I've lost some paint. Probably should have painted a little bit further into the canvas or painted the whole canvas if you don't want to see white underneath. But I'll go back and add a little bit of paint later. So I am a novice to these kinds of pours. I'm not going to lie. If you're looking for someone who is absolutely amazing at doing these kinds of pours, there we go, then that would definitely be Fiona from Fiona Art. And I think there's another Fiona out there. You'd have to Google it. And she also does some really nice work with reverse flower pours. Okay. Now the thing about these is don't freak out if you do one and you go, I don't like it, it looks like crap. Just torch it and wait, because it takes time for this kind of work to develop. So as you see it right now, it's going to be developing, and while I do that and the cells are coming through, I'm just going to add back a little bit of that paint that I took off of the corners. And I did have a little bit of paint left. I guess I could have added that in to my flower, but I'm just going to very carefully add some paint back onto my sides and the top of my canvas, and hopefully you don't hear the horrible storm that's going on behind me. Getting some crazy weather right now. Okay, you see it's grown again. The magic of doing some editing here. And I went and got my Lazy Susan thinking I'm going to spin it a little bit, but I'm not sure that's going to work. I don't think that's helping. I think that might be making it worse. Trying to spin off a little bit of that paint. But I think that's what I'm going to get out of this. I've definitely learned that I need to add some of that background color back into it. I'll have to try this again and try to get something that looks a little bit more like a flower shape. But here is what I have after just a few minutes of letting it develop. Look at the cells and the lacing. The lacing on the edges with the pearl white and all the pearl colors. You get kind of that 3D look. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. I don't really think it looks a lot like a flower, but you do get some really pretty cells and that pretty orange middle. And since I have plenty of paints left over because of my never-ending paints, I can try this again. Maybe I'll try it with a different background color, even though I do love that Prussian blue phthalo. So drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you've had any luck with these freestyle reverse flower pours. And until next time, thanks for watching. See you later. Check out these videos.